Welcome back to another edition of the White Sox here on OOTP 25, and as you can see, Noah Schultz is no longer a good prospect. A 35 overall and potential as a reliever. It's not any better as a starter. He's just cooked. He's an extreme fly ball guy, doesn't throw hard anymore. He gets that one torn flexor tendon, and then just bam, he's horrible. Noah Schultz no longer really part of our plans at all. Not that he really ever was, as like starting as a 45 potential in this, but he's pitching well in high A, but this isn't going to lend itself to being a good major league pitcher, especially combined with this extreme fly ball. But it's not all doom and gloom here on the South Side, as the White Sox somehow through the first month of the season are sitting at 15-10. Somehow being a scrappy team here. You look at the team's stats, we're actually hitting decently well. The offense has been quite solid for us. We're 6-4 in our last 10. We're stealing some bags. We're not striking out. We're getting hits overall. We're getting extra base hits. We're scoring runs. We're slugging and not hitting home runs, but we're hitting extra base hits. Things are going well. Playing good defense when it comes to zone rating. Not giving up any walks when it comes to the pitching staff. The best bullpen ERA in the major leagues. That's really carrying us. That's what I kind of figured would happen with letting our starters not go deep into games and just kind of having our bullpen help us through games. And giving up a bit too many runs right now, but hopefully that can come down. But, I'm not really expecting this team to make a run, but very interesting first month of the season. I figured I would just check in here because we're an above 500 place team tied for first place with the Cleveland Guardians at 15-10, both of us. And we're doing this while weathering a ton of injuries. Jordan Liager, he might be back. Well, he will be back here soon. He's going through his rehab assignment coming off of his torn elbow ligament that knocked him out of the majority of last season. But then Landon Knack got hurt. He had a strained shoulder. He still has 2 to 3 weeks left on that. Jacob Berry broke his collarbone. Colson Montgomery, he'll be back any day now, going through a short rehab stint, though once this 2 days is up. Gage Workman got off to a decent start here in the major leagues, and then tore an abdominal muscle, so he's out for 2 to 3 more weeks. Michael Conforto, hamstring strain, 4 to 5 weeks. Things have just not been going well on the injury front, but somehow, even with that, we're being a scrappy team here. We've got Brooks Baldwin's been really good. Michael Massey we called up. He's been really good. Brian Ramos got called up. He's been really good. We called up Hudson Head, who has played 1 game. Christian Pache has actually been a really good player for us, which is surprising to say the least. Caleb Durbin has stunk. But, getting some weird contributions from some depth guys. And we'll see how long it can continue here as we keep going farther into 2025. And then boom, we sim one day, and instantly, Jose Quintana, the man we signed to a 1-year deal, torn rotator cuff. Boom. Already another injury to our pitching staff, to our team in general. And now we are dipping down in the minor leagues to try to find a starting pitcher. And then, like that isn't already enough, Landon Knack's out here suffering setbacks. Another 3 weeks tacked on his injury. What the hell's going on? And then we're getting another pitcher injury. Cody Funderburk, partially torn labrum, out for 3 months. And despite all these injuries, we are currently winning. We're on a W4. It's ridiculous. What is happening? Holy shnikes, folks. The Chicago White Sox, through 2 months of the 2025 campaign, are a above 500 team, and Brooks Baldwin just got Rookie of the Month here in the month of May. And, of course, we get another injury. Jacob Berry, who wasn't even back yet. We weren't sure where we were going to put Berry, so we had him on a rehab assignment for a couple games down in Charlotte because he came back from his broken collarbone. He was our first baseman, and Brian Ramos has been really, really good for us. So I was like, I don't know where we're going to be playing him when he comes back, but we'll try to squeeze him in somewhere. And then he goes and just gets hurt again on his rehab assignment, breaks his wrist, fractures his wrist, and now he's once again just on the IL for a month. So that's just wonderful stuff. We've got Michael Conforto, who should be back sometime soon. It has an unknown return. Funderburk still has 2 months. Ashcraft got hurt. A lot of injuries still going on here in Chicago, but somehow, 5.5 games back, second place in the wild card. We're a playoff team if the season ends today. Obviously, there's still a shit ton of season left to play, but the White Sox scrappy here in 2025. And, not only does Brooks Baldwin just win top rookie in the major leagues, but we also have the #1 hitter in the Southern League in Samuel Zavala, our 20-year-old prospect. He could be a guy who's a legit weapon for us within the next season or two. He's 20. He's still got a little bit of developing to do. I don't want to push him. I don't want to rush him to the major leagues. He is a guy who is ineligible for the Rule 5 draft, so we don't have to put him on the 40-man anytime soon. We can let him have another year of development. And we've got guys that are playing well right now. Not particularly in the outfield. Pache started to cool off. Dominic Fletcher's been horrible this season. He's just not hitting like he was last year with the doubles. And then also is just not getting singles. He's been horrible at the plate this season. Luckily, he's playing a good right field, which is his saving grace right at the moment. But I'm hoping that he's going to start turning things around. Pache, we expect mainly just defense from him, so any sort of offense we get from him is just extra, and he is playing a very good center field. And then Brooks Baldwin's actually playing left field for us right now because his bat is just so good right now. We need to get it in the lineup however we can, and he's a guy who can play everywhere. So, however you can get him in the lineup, he's down to get in the lineup here. Michael Massey is our DH now because Montgomery's back. We're waiting on him to heat up here. He was cool. He was really cold when he first came up from rehab assignment, but now he's starting to heat up. This was like a 20 number. Now it's an 83, as you can see. And just, we got some bats that are scrappy this season. I keep saying that, but scrappy do, huh? We are cooking out here. And we're piecing things together with the pitching here, I should say. Matthew Boyd has been, I would say, by far our worst starter, mainly because he's just giving up a shit ton of home runs. As opposed to these other guys who don't really have the greatest numbers, but at least you can squint and be like, there's a starter somewhere in there. In Kai Bush, in Jonathan Cannon, in Jack Flaherty, who's actually having a good season with the FIP, but not quite with the ERA. Drew Thorpe, we still believe that he's a good pitcher. His ratings are too good to be we should give up on this guy. And then in the bullpen, Colby Allard's been okay. Tanner Banks has been really good. Brazoban has been a huge piece for us in 22 and 2/3 innings. Dermody has come up as the lefty from Iowa, ground ball pitcher. He's actually playing as a middle relief stopper secondary role right now because that's what was Allard's role, but he was just not performing in that. So now Dermody is in that role, and he has been fantastic. Foley has been good. He is the opener paired with Boyd. It's been mainly ERA with him, but I had him as a mop-up secondary, but now he's the opener for Boyd. Kittredge been really good. Liegier's back up. He's had 5 innings. He's been really good. No longer a stopper type guy with 25 stamina, but still a very good reliever nonetheless. And then Nick Nestrini's been good as well. So, we're piecing things together here. We've got a chance to mop the Baltimore Orioles here as we just took the first 3 of this set here at home. We beat the Blue Jays in a series before that. Dropped one to the Yankees, unfortunately, but then beat the Nationals before that. Had a bit of a rough stretch here, but then, we're starting to turn things around again. Let's just see. Do we mop the Orioles here to start off the month of June? We do indeed! A mop! Get them out, folks! My goodness, let's just take a look at the day-by-day here. We win in extras, first game of the set. Hudson Head with a 2-hit game as well as Jose Rodriguez, who is up as our backup infielder right now because Durbin's been terrible. Also, Gage Workman's back. I forgot to mention that. Massey doubles in this game. Rodriguez doubles. Pache and Head triple. Gage Workman hits a home run. And then Jack Flaherty gives us 6 scoreless, and then the bullpen a bit shaky with Kittredge there, but overall we get the W in extras. And then the second game of the set, 5-2 win over Baltimore. Foley opens up with a scoreless frame. Boyd, unfortunately, not the greatest, but only gives up 2. Liager and Brazabon shut it down. And then for game 3, a 12-0 just stomping. Brooks Lee with a double. Massey, Flores, both homers. A bunch of singles, it seems like, aside from those guys, but Jonathan Cannon goes 5 2/3 scoreless. Colby Allard goes 3 1/3 scoreless. I mean, just a phenomenal pitching there. And then to close out the series, the 4-0 victory as Gage Workman and Brooks Lee double, Michael Massey and Brian Ramos homer. I almost said Hector Ramos. Where am I thinking of Hector Ramos from? I don't know. But Brian Ramos, 7th home run. Massey's 10th home run of the season. That's a team lead, I believe. Baldwin might have more. And then Kai Bush, the Utah man from St. Mary's, the lefty, comes in there, gives you 7 scoreless, 1 walk, 7 Ks, banks, and then Brazabon shut it down as we mop the Orioles, who are horrible this season. They're having the real-life 2025 Orioles year. I know they were the team that won the division last year. They were projected to win the division, but they're very much having the real-life 2025 Orioles season right now. And I'm curious, is that yes, Michael Massey does indeed have the team lead, and he has significantly less games than Baldwin does. Baldwin and Brooks Lee both have 9 and 8 home runs, 7 for Ramos, who came up. He only has 37 games. Massey only has 34, and he's only playing against righties. He's not playing against lefties. He barely has any ABs. Ignore this WRC plus because it's such a small sample size. 1 AB changes it, and he can luck his way into a home run or something. But Michael Massey has been great for us. The Illinois man, you don't go to heaven, you go to Champaign, Illinois, baby. And now we got Michael Conforto, who's probably going to have a short rehab stint here coming off the hamstring strain, but like, what are we doing with Michael Conforto at this point? I mean, Brooks Baldwin's our left fielder. He's been really good. We can't take Lee or Massey or Montgomery or Work. I guess we can take Work. Maybe take Workman out of the lineup. Put him as the fourth, as the backup infielder. We send down Rodriguez. Move Baldwin back to the infield, have Conforto in left. I guess that's probably the most obvious thing here, even though Workman has been good for us. And he's not playing a great shortstop. What was Lee doing at shortstop? Not great, but you know, we're still scrappy. The scrappy Sox. So we'll probably give Conforto a little bit here on a rehab assignment, like a week or so, and then call him up. And then what is Landon Knack doing in AAA? All right, Landon Knack, 3 starts down there. He's pitching well. We'll probably bring him back into the staff here at some point. Maybe give up on Matthew Boyd. That's, I mean, the most obvious one to get rid of at this point is to give up on Matthew Boyd here, whether we're trying to trade him, whether we're just releasing him, whether he would accept a minor league assignment if he passes through waivers. We're probably going to give up on him once we decide to bring back Landon Knack, honestly, because he's just been our worst starter. I guess Thorpe has been bad too, but like, I don't know. I would rather do something where like maybe we make Thorpe and Foley the opener follower, and then we bring back up Knack and he just replaces Boyd in the rotation. I think I might do something like that, but we'll see. And that makes it easier. Drew Thorpe, rotator cuff strain. And now it's like, I guess we're keeping Matthew Boyd, and Drew Thorpe is just going to be out for 8 weeks because we just can't stop getting pitcher injuries. I mean, at this point, the guy who is our trainer, who I think was like more of a rehab guy, James Crook here, yeah, legendary at rehabbing. I mean, it's not like it's horrible preventing arm injuries and stuff, but like he's just, I mean, we have so many injuries that like we might as well try to move on. But also at the same time, you do kind of have to subscribe to the mind of thinking, the train of thought that guys are going to get hurt anyways. So like you might as well lean into somebody who can help them come back quicker. And maybe, I'm not really sure exactly what the rehab ratings do, but I'd have to imagine that it does help with players who get hurt and then they come back, and maybe they don't become fragile as quickly when they come back. You'd have to imagine that something like that is within the code of the game, but who knows? But, the moral of the story here is that we are getting a lot of injuries here in 2025. I mean, I'm just noticing that Colby Allard's our worst player by far right now. He's in a horrible 13-game stretch. He's got a 10 ERA. He's just got to go. He's got no options, or he does have an option. He has an option, and he still refuses to be demoted? Is that because he's on one of these, it converts into a major league deal. He was on one of those, minor league deals that turns into a major league deal if he gets promoted. I don't really know how he's able to refuse. I guess it's just because he has enough service time. So, Colby Allard, just barely enough service time, but we're just going to get rid of him. Even if he is a leader, he's just been that bad for us. He's given up way too many home runs. We need to get a different guy in there. And honestly, just looking throughout the system here, the best option we have is another lefty to come up. Jonathan Santucci. He's going to be our guy here. That's why you take college pitchers. They can be fast risers. We're not expecting him to be a starter for us, but we're expecting him to be a reliever for us. He comes in there, just gives us some bullpen innings. Absolutely. Jonathan Santucci, welcome to the Chicago White Sox after, I guess, a full season combined between the half a season or the quarter of this. Not even really a full season, just this many minor league innings, barely any minor league innings. He is up to the big leagues out of Duke, the powerhouse football program in the online dynasty that I'm currently playing. Oh my God. And now we got Brooks Lee getting plantar fasciitis. What is going on? Another quick little check-in here. So we made a change to our outfield situation. Dominic Fletcher has just been that terrible to where we have now made him the fourth outfielder because of his defense. And his offense is just horrible, horrible, horrible this season. We sent down Hudson Head, and we called up Lloydell Chappelli, the Cuban lefty-righty outfielder, can give you some first base, a little bit of second base. But he's got 60 range, 80 speed, was having a good season in Double-A, had a good season in Double-A last year. So I was like, why not call this guy up, see what he can do. He can give you both, even as a lefty, against left-handed pitching. So I was like, might as well give this guy a try in right field. He comes up, we play Boston, we win 12-6. He goes 3 for 4 with 4 runs scored. He doubled and he homered in the game. Lloydell Chappelli, all hail Lloydell Chappelli. My goodness. And then Michael Conforto goes 3 for 5 on the day with 4 runs driven in. Pache with a 2-hit day. Brooks Baldwin, Colson Montgomery. Kai Busch unfortunately got lit up a bit, but Santucci was nails in 2 1/3. The White Sox, baby. Not only did we just win the game against the Red Sox, we swept them. We mopped them. We mopped the Red Sox. 2 mops in the same season for the Chicago White Sox. What in the hell is going on, folks? For those of you who don't know what the mop terminology is, I'm a big Cespedes Family Barbecue guy. I listen to their podcast. They refer to any 4-game sweep as a mop. We've also gone ahead and re-signed Andrew Kittredge. He came to us and he was like, hey, I'd love to re-sign. So I was just curious because he's been really good for us in the bullpen. So I was like, why not give this guy a deal if he wants something cheap? He actually wants a drop in salary. He's making 2.8 this season million. He would re-sign for 1.5. So I'm like, fucking hell yeah, man, 1.5. And then we threw out a team option for his age 37 season, just in case he's still got some juice. But we've got him for one more season. Andrew Kittredge, really good player for us. Oh man, we're starting to lose our grip here. It's starting to look like the Chicago White Sox at this point. The cracks are starting to show up. We're dealing with even more injuries. Still somehow sitting around 500, obviously, but, we're not out of it. We are 2 games out of the wild card, but multiple teams in front of us in the Blue Jays and the Yankees for that 3rd spot. But, we still have an outside chance. We're not out of it, and we've managed to get this far with this ragtag group of players. So why not see what they can do? Obviously, we're not going to be going into the deadline trying to make big swings or something, but if we could pick up like a starter or two that could help us, I think that's the main thing we're going to be looking for, is like a starting pitcher or two to help us down the stretch. Because, I mean, first let's take a look at the team stats here. You can see ever since April and May, really, I mean, May was around 500, April really good, June we stunk, and then so far in July we're not doing so hot either. The offense, very mediocre. Some things we're doing well, like we're hitting a lot of extra base hits and getting overall hits, but then like not a lot of OBP or slugging or OPS or runs scored. I mean, I guess we're 6th in runs scored, so that's not too shabby. We're walking a decent amount, but like, nothing too crazy aside from the extra base hits, which is just mind-boggling, to be honest. And then on the pitching side of things, once again, the bullpen is carrying the way. We are giving up too many runs, and just the bullpen has been our strength. The starters have been horrible. We just don't have any starting pitchers that can really actually start for us, and that's really hurt us here. We're not striking at anybody. We have a good ZR, but not a great defensive efficiency. We're giving up way too many home runs, giving up too many hits. Things need to improve, obviously. We're not a perfect team. This is a very scrappy, somehow competing sort of team. Like, this is a team that, like, sneaks into the playoffs. You're like, good for them. And then they get swept. Like, that's the level of team that we are right now. But, it's been fun because we are the White Sox, obviously. So let's take a look at this pitching staff here. Sorted by innings pitched, these starters have just not been getting it done. Matthew Boyd, even as a opener, or I guess as a follower, he's been a little bit better. He's giving up a little bit less home runs, but he's also walking way more many guys, which is weird that his walk rate spiked that much as a reliever, as a follower. But just overall, has not been good, Matthew Boyd. Jack Flaherty here, still a solid FIP, but not a great ERA. That's probably because of our infield defense, I have to imagine, because we don't really have the greatest infield defense. Jonathan Cannon, been around league average. We will take that absolutely. Tanner Banks has been really good as a stopper. And then Kai Bush, he did start off decently well, but now through 12 starts, really the cracks are starting to show. He's not really striking anybody, has like no swing and miss, and just doesn't really have enough stuff to really get through starts. So Kai Bush has been kind of exposed. But like I said, the bullpen, Tanner Banks really good. Kittredge really good. We re-signed. Brazaban really good. Foley has been good as an opener and reliever. Also, Landon Knack has come back through 8 starts, and he's been bad, which has been terrible for us. Dermody is starting to not perform well, so he's probably not going to be in this stopper role for very much longer. We claimed Shane Smith, who I don't know if this is the same Shane Smith who was an all-star for the White Sox in real life, but if it is, cool. If not, still cool, because this guy's got good ratings. Only 30 stamina, so not quite a starter, plus only 2 pitches. But he's got 1 appearance, and he's been good. So we claimed him from the Cleveland Guardians, and hopefully he can be good for us. He's also a guy who has 2 option years left, so still a interesting player for us. And then Santucci's been really good, to the point where, like, maybe we let Santucci eat in the rotation. He's only a 40 overall, but, like, he could quickly improve. So, like, maybe we just let the big dog eat, throw him in there in the rotation, and see what he can do. At this point, what do we have to lose up until the trade deadline? Jordan Liager has been solid with the FIP, kind of getting rocked around with the ERA a bit. Unfortunate, walking too many guys. But, he is what he is. Doesn't have the greatest control, but nasty stuff for us as a single-inning reliever. Just a terrible ERA, but like I said, really good FIP. But overall, the bullpen, quite solid. And then on the hitting side of things, also I should mention the injuries. Walker Buehler actually has like a week left in his injury, so he'll be back around heading into the trade deadline after a little bit of a rehab stint, missing the majority of this season. Quintana's out for the whole season, obviously. Drew Thorpe has 3 weeks left. Funderburk has 3 weeks left. Brooks Lee only has 5 days left in his plantar fasciitis, so he'll be back soon. But then Gage Workman just tore his hamstring. And he's a guy who, like, you look at these ratings and you're like, why can't you put it together? Why can't you be a good player? Really solid BABIP. Really good gap power to go with the speed profile. 50 power, 50 eye. really good defender, despite not being a good defender. One of these guys. Makes no sense, but unfortunately, torn hamstring. So we're right now rocking Colson Montgomery at shortstop until Brooks Lee comes back, because that's the level of desperate we are in the infield. And then also Michael Conforto got hurt again, forearm tendonitis. This is now his third injury. One was just a nagging wrist soreness, but second long-term injury here. Hamstring strain, now forearm tendonitis. Gonna miss some time here. Unfortunate. But right now, the big league lineup, some of our guys are starting to struggle. You can see Baldwin's been slumping. Flores has been slumping, only playing against lefties. But overall, sort by wins here. Michael Massey has been our best player as our DH against right-handed pitching. 153 WRC plus, 16 doubles, 16 home runs. I mean, my goodness, what a player. Michael Massey just comes home to Chicago, and he's just lighting it up. So hopefully that can continue. Hopefully Baldwin can get back on track, because overall he's been really good for us this season with a 2-win, 135 WRC plus, 18 doubles, 14 home runs. And then Edgar Caro, he's been solid. Nothing too great, but solid. Pache, we'll take this. You give us like an 85 plus WRC plus, anywhere around that and above, and then you give us your defense, I'm taking that absolutely from Christian Pache. Really good defender, obviously, with that 11.6 ZR here in July 11th, rather. As good season for him so far. Brian Ramos cooled off a little bit, but overall, still good. He's playing third base right now because Jacob Berry is back up. Barely any time for him, but 140 WRC plus nonetheless in his limited time at the big leagues. Siegler's been fine as a backup catcher. Lloyd L. Chappelle's actually been around league average, a little bit above league average for us here. Wilmer Flores has been slumping, but overall has actually been quite good. A little bit actually better against righties than against lefties, which is weird. I don't know, maybe we give him a shot. Who knows? But we also signed Jurickson Profar, you can see here. He was just sitting in free agency, and I was like, why not give him a chance? We had him in AAA for a little bit. He was raking. We called him up. He's been raking in the big leagues. So we'll see how long that lasts, but he's playing left field for us right now. While Chappelle's in right field. Colson Montgomery, despite being one of our better ratings-wise players and coming off a 3-win season, just having a really weird year where he had the rotator cuff strain, missed the start of the season, and now he's just hasn't been able to put it all together yet. We look at his splits from this major league season, and May was like around not great. June really struggled, but so far in July, a little bit above league average. So hopefully he can start turning it on here as he gets more plate appearances heading down the stretch. And then Jose Rodriguez is whatever as a backup infielder, and then Dominic Fletcher's backup to be our fourth outfielder in his very, very disappointing offensive season, coming off a 2-win season now with a negative win season, even with really good defense in right and center field. That's how bad his offense has been. He's been outfield Nicky Lopez. That's what he's been this season. And at this point, we've got some guys who could possibly help us, like Samuel Zavala. Not desperate to call him up, but if we need an outfielder desperately at some point, he could possibly come up and make a difference for us. Even somebody like Walker Jenkins, he's having a decent season in Double-A. Don't want to rush this guy either, but maybe if we want somebody other than Jose Rodriguez at the backup infield spot, we've got Jacob Gonzalez, who's down in Double-A, having a solid season for us, so that's encouraging to see. Ben Rice got sent down because he was just not doing it at the big league level. That's another sample size. Obviously, it was a smaller sample size in 2024 where he was terrible, and then in 2025, 120 plate appearances was not great, and it wasn't looking like it was getting better. So April, May, both around 80 WRC plus as a DH. So I was like, we're sending you down. Plus, we needed to open up that spot to have Massey, Baldwin, and all those guys in the lineup. So, Ben Rice, unfortunately, pushed down to the minor leagues, not able to cook for us. But, maybe he's still in the cards. He still does have one more option year, so I doubt we move on from him. But, at this point, probably more depth than anything else. I've thought about calling up Braden Shoemake to play shortstop for us, simply because he can actually play shortstop at a high level, and he can give you all these positions as well. But he's currently not in the 40-man because we actually waived and DFA'd him in the offseason. Stuck around, though, and in our minor league system. but we would have to make room on the 40-man roster because it is currently full, and it's it would be tough to try to open up a spot on this 40-man roster right now. Like, we would have to get rid of, like, I guess Ryder Ryan as like a reliever or somebody like that. But I'm not really desperate to bring Shoemake up. I'm kind of just hoping that we can piece it together at shortstop with Workman and Lee once he comes back from injury for the rest of the season. Also, I should mention that we sent down Nick Nastrini because he started having the Colby Allard issue of giving up way, way too many home runs. He had 47 innings pitched and was off to a decent start to start the season. I think if we look at his splits here, I guess April he had a good FIP, May was solid, and then June he got rocked 3.8 home runs per nine in the month of June, and we just could not deal with that. So he's currently down in AAA for us right now, struggling down there through 2 starts. So not good to see there. Another thing that we did was we did go out and sign Caleb Ferguson, just like we did with Jurickson Profar. I noticed that he was sitting out there in free agency. Nobody had signed him. I don't know if he got released or... I guess he got released by the Twins after signing a 3-year deal with them in free agency, and then they just released him for whatever reason. I guess because he was not good for them, so they released him, and we signed him. He's in AAA for us, extreme ground ball lefty. We got him on a real cheap contract, obviously, if it converts to a $1 million major league deal. So Caleb Ferguson here, he's a guy who has multiple options too. If we need a pitcher, we might be trying to move him up to the staff here. Dermody, honestly, he might be going down. We might be getting Ryder Ryan off of or River Ryan, whichever Ryan we have off of our 40-man, and then sending Dermody down and calling up Ferguson to take that spot as another lefty in our bullpen here. I know, like I said, we're probably going to move Santucci to the rotation, get Knack out of there. Santucci's going to start for us, see what he can do. Kai Bush is another guy we're probably going to look to try to do something with. But, we've got some changes to make here down the stretch the rest of the season before we head into the trade deadline. And then obviously, see what we can do at the deadline. But now it is time to go into the first-year player draft where we have the number 8 overall pick. Unfortunately, our third best odds. We dropped down a ton to number 8. The Cardinals jumped from 17 to 6 because, of course, Cardinals Devil Magic. And the Marlins with the number 1 overall pick. So let's start this draft here. Head into it 2025. Let's make sure we have all the right stuff going here. As number 1 overall to the Miami Marlins, it is Brady Ebel. I know this is, don't know how you pronounce it, whatever it is. Number 2 to Pittsburgh, Ben Abelt. Number 3 to Detroit, Cam Canarella. Or no, that was the Nationals. And now to number 4 to Detroit. Yeah, number 4 to Detroit, Jace Laviolette, Lord Tubbington. And now number 5 to Philadelphia, it is Anthony Martinez, whoever that is. Then 6 to St. Louis, they take Seth Hernandez. Now number 7 to Oakland is Caleb Danzian out of an Arizona high school. And now it's us on the clock, number 8 overall. And our scout thinks we should take Xavier Nyans, a Washington area high schooler, third baseman. Looks like he could be good. Don't know if I want to lean that way. Doesn't really look like there's anything too intriguing here at this point. Oregon State outfielder Dallas Macias. Not really great here. Don't love that it's more Avoid K than BABIP. Ethan Holiday, maybe. Maybe we go with him. I think if we're going to go high schooler, I would prefer Ethan Holiday over Xavier Nyans, probably. Maybe, I don't know. The hope with Ethan Holiday is that maybe you can get like a dev lab bump and he can play a shortstop, whereas Nyans could be a really good power hitter down the line. So those are like then there's also Coy James. Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to take a high schooler here, it's probably either going to be Nyans or Holiday. And those are probably the 2 best options here, at least from what I'm seeing. Unless there's like one of these 55 guys. No. Justin Lampkin, maybe? We could use starting pitching, so like maybe we do take Justin Lampkin here and then hope that he can develop quickly, even as a guy with a horrible personality class. Hope he develops as well as he did in the Angels franchise or Angels series we did last year, where he, I believe, started off with the Cardinals, developed really well, and then he spent a few seasons with us in LA or Anaheim. But yeah, I think here it's pretty obvious we either go Nyans, Holiday, or Lampkin. It's just, do we want... Who does I think we should go with to go pitcher? Miles Upchurch. Yeah, no, I don't think we're doing that, man. Mid-rotation starter. He has gone down a bit in March, but he's gone back up with his control here in June. Ethan Holiday has had some minuses, but he's also had some pluses. Weird. So basically, a lot of these pluses that went up, some of them went back down. Like the contact rating went back down to 55. Or I guess it was 50 to 60, now it's 55. The power, which went from 55 to 60, is now back to 55. The eye, which went from 50 to 60, is now to 55. And then his speed went up. Okay, and then Nyans here. Okay, so his eye dropped here in December, but then it went back up. Potential regular in a key role. Ethan Holiday is an above-average third baseman. And then Lampkin was a mid-rotation starter projection. I don't think we're going to go Lampkin. I think we're either down to Nyans or Ethan Holiday here. And it's just like, the Nyans is going to give you a potentially, like, seriously good power bat. And I guess the contact potential is, like, barely better for Ethan Holiday. And then defense, you know, Nyans might be a first baseman, fringe third baseman, whereas Ethan Holiday could probably give you a really good second or third, and if you get like a dev lab bump, could give you a shortstop. Yeah. Nyans maybe could be like an outfielder too. Corner outfielder perhaps, 55 and left. But then so could Ethan Holiday. He's high loyalty, high greed to low leader, low intelligence, and then Ethan Holiday is high leader, low loyalty, low intelligence, but low greed. And they're both lefties, so they're probably going to have both of them are going to have troubles against left-handed pitching, you'd have to imagine. But, I mean, I think we just got to go with the bat here. I think we got to go Nyans. The bat is just too good to pass up. So we're, $10 million bonus. What's Holiday's? 2.8. Interesting. And the director does think we should go with Nyans. Fuck it, we're going with Xavier Nyans here, high schooler. Number 8 overall, we're making the selection, even with that bonus. Move things on to round 2. And unfortunately, Lampkin is not here anymore. We do still have some 55s, mainly high schoolers, though. IMG guy, that's disgusting. Who are the best college guys? A couple 50 college guys left. Ben Barrett from Florida State, not really loving this. Andrew Fisher from Ole Miss, who, if I'm not mistaken, did he transfer in real life? Maybe he was at Ole Miss. I don't know. I remember people talking about him in regionals because they were saying he's like the most New Jersey man alive because he's from New Jersey. And I remember he played a big role in the regionals this year in real life. And then Mitch Voigt, don't love the home runs allowed. Caden Bodine, don't know if we want him second round here, but that is intriguing. Caden Bodine. Then you have a bunch of 50 high schoolers here. Jack Ruckert. Are there any, like, standout defenders? Clay Grady. No, I'd probably go Bodine if we're going to go with a 45. Anthony Pack Jr., we took him in the Angels. Maybe we try to take him again here and hope he can develop. Possibly. Or we just immediately go down to the 45s here because I'm not really loving anything I'm seeing. I think this was the guy we took with the Angels, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe we do go Upchurch. Our scout thinks we should take Dubovic. Upchurch does look like he could be pretty good. High adaptability, high intelligence. Or there's Anthony Pack, or there's Caden Bodine. I think we're going to take Upchurch. Does he still think if we ask for a pitcher recommendation, Yeah, we're going to go Upchurch here. Miles Upchurch is our second round pick. And now, if either Anthony Pack Jr. or Caden Bodine are still here, we're going to take them round 3. Pack, Bodine got taken. Jack Bauer's here. We're not taking him, though. We're taking Anthony Pack Jr., the 50 potential high school outfielder with 70 range. He is our guy, third round. We're locking that in. Moving things on, round 4, where our scout thinks we should take Danny Wallace. No, don't love that gap power at all. Jack Ruckert, average across the board. Billy Carlson, I think we took him possibly with the Angels. Luke Billings, big-time bad impossible signee. Cruz Schoolcraft, maybe we go with him. Potential two-way guy with some big-time swing and miss, but some big-time pop. I think he's got to be who you're going with here, Cruz Schoolcraft, because there's nothing really else that's like jumping out to me right now. Anthony Iacin, I know he was good in real life. From oh wow, I didn't realize he was a transfer from UC San Diego. I know him as the Patrick Forbes. Who could forget? No, thank you. Yeah, we're going to take Cruz Schoolcraft. Cruz Schoolcraft, the 6'8", 220 lefty pitcher with some serious pop as well. He is our 4th round selection here. We are locking that in. Move things on to round 5. And our scout thinks we should take Talon Haley from Lamont, Illinois, even though he grew up in Mississippi or went to a high school in Mississippi. Don't love the personality class. Jaden Stroman is here as a potential two-way guy, shortstop, maybe give some outfield too. Don't love the home runs allowed. Would probably lean him being an infielder, anything else, more than anything else. But I think Jaden Stroman might be our guy. He might be. I've never actually, because I think I took this guy with the fish in OOTP 26, and I just kind of figured it was like a coincidence. But is this Marcus Stroman's brother? Because aren't they from New York? And then I know Marcus obviously went to Duke. It's got to be. He is indeed. He is indeed the younger brother of Marcus Stroman, and we're taking him. Why not? He's got good personality, could be a really good shortstop, second baseman, especially if this bat develops. Maybe if the pitching develops, I'll probably lean infielder more than pitcher with him. But, we'll probably let him two-way for at least the first season or so. But Jaden Stroman's our guy here. In round 5, we're locking that in. We're moving things on to round 6. And Patrick Forbes is here, just dangling in front of me, being like, hey, take me, yeah. I think round 6 here, we're either going to take Colton Hartman, who is a lefty pitcher out of Louisville. Patrick Forbes, also out of Louisville, righty pitcher, doesn't quite have the fastball he has in real life. I guess he still has a pretty good fastball in this, but we don't love the home runs allowed. We're not going to take Patrick Forbes here. We are either going to take Colton Hartman, who has a bit better home runs allowed potential, still has 3 good pitches. Little bit, I guess they both have 50 stuff, 50 movement. 50 stuff, 50 movement, yeah. So, Hartman, I think, is a little bit better than him. He's got the good personality stuff, too. So if we take pitcher, it's going to be Hartman. Jack Bauer's here. I considered him, too, because he's from Illinois, and also his name's Jack Bauer. But also Alec Blair, high school outfielder, probably going to have some swing and miss issues, but 65 power potential with 60 outfield range as well. Could be a really good corner outfielder. So kind of tempted to take Blair and hope that Hartman's here next round, which I think we're going to do. We're going to go take Blair, lock him in, move things on. Hartman's still here. We're taking him, locking that in round 7. We're moving on round 8. Patrick Forbes and Jack Bauer are still here. We are probably going to take Everett Johnson, another hot, really good personality class outfielder, good speed profile. We're going to probably take him. Alrighty, folks, we are here at the end of the 2025 first-year player draft. Like I said, in round 8, we took Everett Johnson out of Wayne Country Day in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Good personality class, good speed, decent bat profile, really good range. pretty self-explanatory why we're taking a guy like that. Round 9, we ended up actually taking Patrick Forbes, because at that point in the draft, it was like, why not? 50 potential guy. Maybe we can get lucky and this gets a TCR bump or something along the way. But Forbes is our 9th round pick. 10th round pick, we take Riley Stanford out of Georgia Tech, a potential two-way guy, starting pitcher, reliever type, possibly in round 10. He's also got 60 power potential with 55 gap. Obviously going to have some huge swing and miss, never going to walk, but, could be an interesting player. We'll probably lean pitcher, but maybe let him do two-way for a bit. Then Easton Carmichael, a catcher with 60 framing, we take in round 11 out of the University of Oklahoma. Then in round 12, we take Sam Cozart, a high school right-handed pitcher. Maybe he develops for us. Round 13, we take another high school pitcher out of an Arizona high school in Jack Laflin, another right-hander. Then in round 14, we take a University of Tennessee, quote-unquote, catcher, Dalton Bargo. Looks like he could have a decent bat here if this develops, so we'll definitely be leaning him as a first baseman rather than a catcher. As then, round 15, we take Ryan Reich out of Seton Hall. Good personality class. Looks like he gets some good pitches. Maybe he develops for us as a right-hander. Round 16, we take a college left-hander out of Louisville, Caden Campbell. Thought he was at interesting ratings for this point in the draft in round 16. Then in round 17, we take Aiden Weaver, college reliever out of Duke, right-hander, good personality class. He has the holy trio here with adaptability, work ethic, and intelligence. And then in round 18, we take Tyler Cerny, another holy trio guy, adaptability, work ethic, intelligence. Maybe he gets a TCR bump. Maybe he develops. Who knows? Round 19, we take Jalen Worthley, a lefty out of Nebraska at Lincoln. Good personality. Once again, the holy trio. And then in round 20, we take Did I take this guy round 20 just to make a Pearl Jam joke? You bet your ass I did. My name's Jeremy. And we're making this guy's nickname Yellow. Because of course. Is this guy ever going to be anything? No. Is it a waste of a 20th round pick? Possibly. Most likely. Was it worth making a joke that maybe 3 people will get? Probably.